وَلِكُلِّ فَنٍّ رِجَالٌ. For every person, for every job or duty, right, there are men for it. So we have to look at what is our talent, what is our, mashallah, what's my forte. And then once you recognize that this is your forte, for some of you may be knowledge, for some of you may be skill or craft, for some of you may be mentoring, for some of you it may be even money, right? Everyone has something to give back and contribute to the whole, you see. So in Islam, all qualities are appreciated. No one human being is bereft of qualities. Every single human being has, even the quality of the buzurgs, waking up for tahajjud and praying for their imams, and praying for the teachers, and praying for the community, is contributing to the community. And so he has to have this sense, his self-analysis, and how can I do that, you see. Another aspect is, afshu salam. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that spread peace, spread salam. So when we mingle with each other, we mingle each other with salam, with peace, right? It means not animosity, not mistrust, not distrust, and things of that nature. So we have to be really aware of the implications of peace. So when we say assalamu alaikum, when you say assalamu alaikum, assalam means peace be upon you, that means there's no harm from me. Behind the scenes, I'm not going to be doing you in. Right? So unfortunately what happens is we do salamu alaikum, and behind the scenes we mistrust them. Behind the scenes we are plotting against them. Behind the scenes we're doing ghiba against them. Behind the scenes we're undermining them. Right? Undermining them. Because shaitan, khannas comes, was. He says, oh, do you know what? He's taking all the limelight. Tu bachara piche rahi gaya. Tu to pehle sari position mein agge hona si, hun aayi gaye the to oh bada tu bachara piche hui gaya. And that's what shaitan does. Khannas hai na, khannas ek dusre ke khilaf yani ki mukhalafat paida karta hai. And so we have to be aware of the subtle enemy. Iblis is always there to divide us. There are people in the community who are there to divide us. And so beware of these types of people. Do not listen to them. Really, baaz log baat banne ki aadat pata kya hai? Baaz aapki baat sun lenge, bade pyar se, badi mohabbat se sun lenge. और जो बात आपने बड़े दिल खोल के उसको बताई है ना, वही बात किसी और को बताएंगे. I got something on you kind of stuff. यानी कि ये मन नक़ला इलैका नक़ला अंका, जो आपको बड़ी मजे से बात सुनाता है ना कि फलां ये का, वो आपके मुतल्लिक़ भी वही बात बताएगा. तो ये आदाब है कम्युनिटी की. हमने ये यानी एक तो है ना इकट्ठा होना, एक इकट्ठे होने का एक स्टाइल भी, इकट्ठे होने का एक स्टाइल है. बहुत सी कहने की यानी कि दिल करता कहूँ, लिखे नोट्स भी लिखे हुए हैं, लेकिन मैं आपको यानी कि हुजूर से बेहतर कौन हो सकता है जो हमें नसीहत दे कि कम्युनिटी में कैसे रहें. सरकार सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की एक हदीस मैं आपके सामने पेश कर दूं, इंशाल्लाह फिर उस पर हम इत्तिफाक करेंगे. वो हदीस क्या है? सही मुस्लिम की हदीस है. तो हुजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम फरमाते हैं, इय्याकुम वज़न्न फ़इन्न ज़न्न अकज़बुल हदीसी. हुजूर फरमाते हैं कि ये जो बदगुमानी है ना, इससे बचे रहो. इय्याकुम, इससे बच के. इय्याकुम जो लफ्ज है ना, अरब इस्तेमाल करते हैं इय्याकुम वल असद. वो बचो, वो शेर आ गया है, बचो वो दरिंदा आ गया. हुजूर फरमाते हैं इय्याकुम वज़न्न, ये जो बदगुमानी इससे बचो. जिस तरह शेर और दरिंदा आपको फाड़ देता है ना, इस तरह हमारी बदगुमानियां भी हमें फाड़ देती हैं. ये जो mistrust, this misgivings, right? Always negativity, always looking for. बाद बंदों का mindset होता है, I'm negatively predisposed. When you are negatively predisposed towards someone, you set your mind up to look for their mistakes. You set your mind up to look for their mistakes. You will always find his mistakes. You will not see his qualities. You will not see his contribution. You will only focus on his mistakes. And that's going to destroy you, and that's going to destroy the people who benefit from such a person. So ये जो बदगुमानी है ना, ये जो mistrust, इस mindset होता है, शकी. बाद लोग बड़े शकी मिजाज होते हैं, हर बंदे पे शक करते रहते हैं. तो हुजूर फरमाते हैं फ़इन्न ज़न्न अकज़बुल हदीसी. ये जो बदगुमानी है, this like negativity, फ़इन्न अकज़बुल हदीसी, ये बड़ी सबसे बड़ी झूठी हदीस है. से जब सबसे बड़ा झूठा कलाम है जो खन्नास आपके अंदर डालता है. फिर फरमाते हैं वला तहस्ससू, हुजूर फरमाते हैं वला तहस्ससू वला तहस्ससू वला तजस्ससू। ये तहस्ससू और तजस्ससू के मुतरादिफ हैं, यानी कि माना है कि तजस्ससू जुसूसी ना करो। Do not go out there to look for people's mistakes. Do not go out there to undermine people. وَلَا تَجَسَّسُوا. Right? And this is, even on one occasion, even when someone, at the time of Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, people were having an alcohol party. In Medina, they were having a good old alcohol party. And Sayyidina Abu Musa al-Ashri, said, look, these people, they're drinking. And Hazrat Umar said, as long as they do not do it publicly, we are not going to reprimand them at that level. So when they come out publicly, they found out. But look at the style, look at the style in which they do it, right? So, and yet this was a clear mistake that was identified, but they're not going to be exposed publicly until they do it publicly. You see, وَلَا تَجَسَّسُوا وَلَا تَنَافَسُوا. Do not compete with one another. Do not compete with one another. Do not compete. This idea, like my shop is better than his shop, my house is better than his house, my car is better than his car, right? Maybe cows if you live in subcontinent, my cow is better than his cow. And so this idea of competitiveness, it really ruins our spirituality, ruins our faith, right? So there's no need, look, dekhe bhai, har banda apne safar par, everyone is on their journey. Jo Allah ne aapko diya hai, wo Allah ne apni hikmat se diya. Apni hikmat se diya. Everyone of us is on our unique journey. Do not be concerned about other people's journey. That's their journey. We don't know what they've gone through to earn what they've earned. Some people are rich, mashallah, Allah bless them in their richness. Some people have goodness of Allah, bless them in their izzah. Some people have not, Allah bless them in their knowledge. Don't compete with them, don't undermine people. Focus on our own journeys. Because at the end of the day, our hisab in our qabr and in the akhirah will be based on ourselves, not on our neighbor, not on our cousin, not on our relative. Right? Our hisab is individual. We came to the world alone and we return alone. Our hisab is we, ourselves, individual hisab. So don't compete. Now these are all virtues of community. And then وَلَا تَحَاسَدُوا وَلَا تَحَاسَدُوا. And do not envy one another. Envy is a sickness. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that envy burns your good deeds like fire burns wood. Right? So when we envy other people, we destroy our own faith. We destroy our own righteousness. It's self-destruction. So we think envying the person harms them, really harms us before he harms the other person. You see? And again, envy is the root cause. We'll talk about envy, inshallah, on another occasion as a whole subject, because this is endemic. وَلَا تَبَاغَضُوا. And don't hate one another. Don't hate one another, because hate, again, is the ultimate cause behind so much ikhtilaf, so much animosity, so much destruction in our society, right? And hate is the ultimate reason why communities are destroyed unnecessarily. You see, وَلَا تَدَابَرُوا. And do not betray each other, right? If you have a commitment with someone, support that commitment. If you have a business with someone, if you have a contract with someone, if you have some kind of dealing with someone, if you are a relative of your fellows, do not destroy each other by abandoning each other. Support each other. Support each other's endeavors. Right? Not at the slightest whim that we abandon. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, وَكُونُوا عِبَادَ اللَّهِ إِخْوَانًا كَمَا أَمَرَكُمْ. Right? And be, O creatures of Allah, ikhwanan, be brothers. Be brothers. Al-mu'minu akhul muslim. The Muslim is a brother of a fellow Muslim. La yazlimuhu wa la yakhzuluhu. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentions so many other rights of believers, but we just don't have the time to go into detail. Meaning, Rasulullah, and I'll end with this point. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, that be, O Ibadah of Allah, be, O creatures of Allah, Ikhwana. Meaning, there's a subtle message here, is that we can only be brothers and helpful and considerate and supportive of each other if we recognize our ubudiyyah to Allah. If we recognize that we are here to worship Allah, to please Allah, we're going to return Allah and be accountable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we recognize that, we develop in us a universality. And for the love of Allah, we forgive each other. For the love of Allah, we help each other. For the love of Allah, we avoid undermining each other. Right? And on the flip side, if you're going to be ibadah of our egos, if you're going to be slaves of ourself, our nafs, our lower self, which is interested in power, monopoly, manipulation, right? And all of these things, if you're going to be the slaves of the ego, then we cannot be brothers. I guarantee that. It's the last guarantee. You know, if we are going to be slaves of our lowest, our ambitions, our lower appetites, our base desires, you will not have brotherhood. Because our base desires are in compliance with the devil. And the devil wants us to be enemies. The devil wants us to fight one another. The devil wants us to be envious. The devil wants us to be rebellious, you see. And the subtle message here is, perfect your relationship with Allah. And when you understand the implication of being a servant, a slave, a creature of Allah, you develop humility, you develop humbleness, you develop universality, you develop husnul ta'awun. And for the love of Allah, you will cooperate with one another.